What is the dumbest thing you've ever received hate for? For telling someone that I'm allergic to a certain food. I'm extremely allergic to it. I get so many eye rolls when I mention I'm severely allergic to several common food ingredients. As if I woke up day and decided to make my life wildly inconvenient for the fun of it. Yup. They believed my allergy is a slight intolerance. Like, I'll get a bit of a rash or something. 1 rapidly closing airway, 2 bouts of epinephrine, and an overnight stay in hospital later. I really felt like I'd shown them. I've heard horror stories about people being really shitty to recovering alcoholics too. Like they take it personally that someone's not drinking with them, and soda isn't good enough somehow. I am lactose intolerant. I had to stay in a hospital for 2 days and they did not have a single option of food without milk. When I asked about it, the lunk lady told me we can't consider every exotic life choice here, can we? I left a few hours later. Ugh, I have dietary requirements too, and I have no idea why people take it so personally. I'm not doing it at all, lol. For being too polite. You should have screams in their face, lol. Sorry for not providing the context and background story. In Korea, we bow a lot. Like a lot. So whenever you enter or exit a restaurant you will see many employees bowing at you. So I do the same thing as a customer. Not necessary, but I feel like I should do it also, so I bow also. One time I went to this amazing Japanese sakadon restaurant in Korea with my Korean friend and it was fucking delightful. It was the best sakadon I had in my life. So I complimented the chef and his co-worker. The restaurant was operated by only 2 people, very small restaurant, and also bowing at them. I was saying stuff like thank you for providing us such a delicious meal and all the good adjective you can possibly imagine. And had some conversations for about 15 minutes. After exiting the restaurant my friend looked at me like I was an idiot and he just left me. Like bruv, WTF? I just appreciated the effort by the chef. Honestly, that sounds like the chef and co-worker would really appreciate such a direct, personal compliment. Is there some type of cultural context why your friend would react that way, or is it just how he is? Maybe he wanted to leave and OP kept him there having a conversation for 15 minutes. He may have felt like they were bothering the staff who needed to be doing stuff but were held there by OP talking at them. I kinda doubt it was the nice compliment. Or maybe it wasn't, he's just an asshole, who knows? Reading too much. My mom used to get mad at me, an elementary school kid, for going to the library and getting a big stack of books and reading through them all in a day. And I mean, she was pissed. She'd kick me out to go play and I would just sit outside in the grass for a few hours and wait to go back to reading, lol. I'd get in trouble for reading too much too. My parents now act like that never actually happened. It's so bizarre. I loved reading so much as a kid that my parents would take my books away as punishment. I'm sorry your mom wasn't more encouraging. Same. My parents would clean out my bookshelf and put them all in boxes in the garage for a week, but leave me my Nintendo and television because they knew I didn't really care about that as much as my books. This was the only punishment that worked on me. I got sent to my room once and made the mistake of saying oh no, send me to my room full of books under my breath. Yep, she sent me outside. I was and still am so pale, burn in no time, hate being in the sun kind of person. She told me to sit out on the porch so I didn't burn. No books allowed. So effective. I had a waterproof bag of books I hid in the backyard for whenever I'd get kicked out. I just assumed my parents wanted some alone time or something, lol. My mom was fine with me reading, but for some reason she had serious issues with me having books, like keeping them after I was done. She had never in her life wanted to reread a book. As far as she was concerned, you finished the book and why would you do it again? I'd come home from school and she'd have donated my books to the library or Goodwill. I got in the habit of finishing a book and then immediately rereading it there and then because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to again, since this was before internet. For talking to a guy I met on a dating site not knowing he was in a relationship. Dude was messaging me on a dating app. We met up and he seemed cool. We hung out once. He wasn't my type and we parted on good terms, and then his fiancé called me. I said I was sorry, I had no idea. I stopped talking to the guy instantly, but I still faced 6-8 months of harassment from this woman and her friends. Threats of rape. I got told I wouldn't live to see my next birthday. I got told I was fat and a slut. They called me non-stop. They said that they knew where I lived, where I went to uni. I even got threats on my blog that I had set up for uni. It was intense. I ended up getting the police involved. From what I know, she stayed with him, but somehow I was in the wrong even though I had no idea she existed. He did nothing wrong. It was all me. Fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous how many people blame the other person and not their partner for cheating. Of course, their partner is perfection and physical form. You must have seduced him in your slutty whore ways. My ex cheated on me multiple times before I finally ended it. At first I was mad at the guys, then I grew up and realized that she was the one to blame. I couldn't be mad at them, she was the one who initiated it all. My dad cheated on my mom and my mom blamed me. The claim was that because I didn't call home enough, he needed to get attention elsewhere. Defense mechanism. Bit of projection, denial, and displacement, idealization, devaluation applicable as well. When you still desire to make the relationship work, you'll distort reality to avoid the anxiety of dealing with the truth. I went through something similar. Except me and the dude were just friends, had been friends for years before she came into the picture. First it started with Instagram DMs, then it quickly turned into her and her friends blowing up my phone, threatening me, even showing up at my job when I wasn't there. She was much older than me, so I was rightly terrified. I kept telling her he's a family friend, I've known him since I was a kid. Please leave me alone, and it was like she wasn't even hearing me. Some people are just insanely insecure. Also just insane. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Yeesh. I'm sorry. I've heard about this scenario a lot, and the part that always grabs me is friends of the nut job are taking time out of their day to call or message someone they don't know to make threats. Holy overinvestment, Batman. I too had something similar. I was friends with this girl a guy had a crush on, not even dating. One day at a party I was sat with this girl in a bedroom, with like 8 other people, chatting away. Apparently the guy heard I was talking to her, pulled a knife and wanted to come and stab me. I painted my nursery with an under the sea theme and then was told the blue would make my daughter a lesbian. This made me actually snort laugh out loud. Can you imagine life was actually as simple as see pictures on the walls? Gay, I wonder what would happen if a baby had space themed walls? That makes no sense. The system was blue for girls, pink for boys, until about 90 years ago. Yeah. Blue was seen as soft, and pink was manly for fire and blood. That's why back in the day women would carry around parasols, to protect themselves from the natural blue of the sky. People forgot why parasols were necessary, and now lesbianism has gotten more and more prevalent. Not going to a birthday party. I know this sounds rude of me, and I did feel bad. But, I had my reasons. Back in high school, my friend was having a birthday party. At the time my dad was really ill, he was in the hospital and I wanted to be by his side. I told her my reason and that I wouldn't be able to make it, but once my dad was better, I would celebrate with her in a different way. She didn't like this, and threw a fit about it. To this day, I still don't understand why. But, we're no longer in contact. That's not rude of you at all. Wanting to be with a sick relative is a valid reason to cancel plans or not be able to attend certain things. You tried to compromise and your friend decided to act like a spoiled brat. It's probably for the best that you're no longer in contact. This behavior from her probably would have kept up or gotten worse as time went on. Your friend threw a fit about it because you didn't prioritize her over your dad who was sick. Some people can be quite selfish and not very understanding. Here is your daily reminder that people are crazy. She's narcissistic, it seems. Maybe, but also maybe just a bitch. Don't label someone a narcissist just because. Agree on that narcissistic personality disorder is a real, diagnosable medical condition. It's not just someone being self-absorbed, arrogant, or abusive. I don't drink alcohol, not preachy about it, I just don't like the taste or the effect. You would think I was a mass murderer when declining, politely, a drink. I don't care if everyone else is drinking and think I'm kind of handy as a designated driver. I am blown away by all of the comments. Amazing at how many of us non-drinkers are out there and how we share similar experiences. Thanks for sharing. I have strong alcoholic genes in my family. Both my father was to his death and my brother are alcoholic. I'm evil for not drinking. Totally not wanting to not be one too. Nope. Evil. In the same boat with a family line of alcoholics. I get a lot of shit for not drinking. But my comeback is always come outside and hit the bong with me. When they don't want to, they get where I was coming from all of a sudden. Haha. My father doesn't like the fact that I smoke weed but constantly encourages me to drink with him. His only response is that weed will impair you, but what does alcohol do? The same thing. I do drink but not all the time. It's almost impossible to refuse a drink from my father when I visit my parents. My father takes it personally and wonders what is wrong with me when I don't drink. I used to be an alcoholic. I still struggle on and off now, but it's a lot more manageable. I still overdo it when I drink, but it's only once a month maybe. People take it as a personal affront if I turn down a drink, saying it's not like one drink is gonna turn you back or something like that. But it totally could lol. Every time I drink there's a chance it could snowball into another mess. I get why people don't understand it, but it's annoying having to explain it. I got singled out in a corporate letter working as a bartender in a chain restaurant because a guy came in one day, sat at the bar and asked for a water. I said, we getting anything else to drink? We have some specials. Yada yada yada, and he just said, no, I don't drink. Just want to get a bite and watch the recaps on ESPN. I never asked him if he wanted a drink after that. He came in every Sunday for the entire football season. I would get him a water and he'd order a meal, and at the end he sent a letter to corporate office. I got a stupid pin and some recognition award. My boss posted the clipping from the corporate newsletter and I never saw the guy again. But it made me happy to know that he appreciated my lack of pushing alcohol on him. Ugh, I get that all the time. And then it's try this. You can't taste the alco, I can. And it's gross. I finally found my people. The only thing I enjoy is hard cider, which is shocking for some lol. But it barely has any alcohol in it. Yeah, you think me saying I don't like the taste of alcohol has something to do with that maybe? Sometimes people will suggest drinks to me. You won't be able to taste the alcohol. It tastes exactly like fruit juice. You know what else tastes exactly like fruit juice? Fruit juice. For having lunch with my grandma on my lunch break at work. Not joking. I serve a wide area of my state, and when I'm in her part of the state, which was historically underserved by the person in my position before I eat lunch with her during my lunch break. The other administrators I work with in parts of the state that I serve are now complaining that the only reason that part of the state is getting more attention, i.e. equal treatment to them rather than being neglected, is because I like to have lunch with my grandmother. I'm happy for you. Having lunch with your grandma has got to be the highlight of that day. Can confirm. I had lunch at my grandma's house every single day when I worked at my old job. BC it was close to her house. Now I don't live close by and she's in a nursing home. I miss that so much. OP. Cherish every single lunch and don't let anyone hate on you for that. What I'd do to have one more lunch with my grandmother. Next time you're in town, tell your grandma the internet says hi. I'll bet she's a nice lady. Thank you. She's amazing. She's suffering from dementia now, so she's a shadow of her former self, but she was an extremely intelligent woman who excelled in a male-dominated profession and male-dominated world. She's always been way before her time in her ways of thinking, and especially in terms of open-mindedness, kindness, and equality towards all people. Her name is Karen, but she's most definitely not a Karen. During my early days of the internet, there was a post on a LiveJournal page about some woman who still breastfed her kid until he was like 5. I commented on it saying I didn't even know that was possible, and boy did people come at me calling me a troll just trying to rile people up, saying it was offensive. Like dude, I was just 15 and honestly had no idea it was possible to breastfeed a child for that long. I once knew someone who was breastfed until the age of 7. They must have a super immune system. Haha, I am curious to know if extending the length of breastfeeding makes the probability of developing certain ailments and diseases even lower. I didn't even know that was possible. I also came here to say this. I guess it's more common than I thought. I breastfed my oldest until almost 3 and I was absolutely beyond done with it mentally way before then. I can't imagine going to 7, much less 5. Like, I want my body back, thanks. Congratulations for making it till the end. Please smash that like and subscribe button for 1 million years of good lucks.